right. This is what we've been waiting for. The countdown images for the Global Dokkan campaign coming out in a week. Well, the countdown's not a week. This is the data download, so it should be. We'll see what the units are in a week on the 2nd, but then the countdown itself is probably going to start either the 30th or the 1st. So, 7 days until the Global Dokkan campaign. This is pretty much going to give us a good idea. I did look at them already, so I have a whole bunch of stuff pulled up. If you don't want to spoil yourself, don't look at the top, but otherwise, let's get into the countdown campaign images. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, drop a sub to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching, and let's get into it. So, the first one is Shenron, and it appears... I'm not exactly, honestly, I didn't watch OG Dragon Ball, and I think this is OG probably, this is Pilaf's castle. Honestly, I could be wrong. Not 100% sure, but this could definitely be Pilaf's castle here. So, OG Dragon Ball, essentially. Korin is also pretty much OG Dragon Ball. Then we get to this guy. He's either OG Dragon Ball or Z. Again, I looked at these already. King Kai is, of course, Z. This is about Saiyan Saga. Then we got these guys at the Buu Saga. He's also a little bit further in the Buu Saga after these guys. King Kai could also be Namek. This could be Saiyan Saga, actually. This could be Namek. This is Buu Saga. Later in the Buu Saga. And then the end of the Buu Saga. So, I'm pretty sure they summoned Purunga to restore Goku's energy. That's when he does his Super Spirit Bomb. He goes Super Saiyan. He says, "See ya," whatever. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. So, if you go based off of what I said, we got OG Dragon Ball, Saiyan Saga, Namek, Majin Buu Saga, again Majin Buu Saga, and then the end of Majin Buu Saga, which is leading up. These usually lead up to what it's going to be. For example, day 1 for the 9th anniversary was the end of Universal Survival Saga. So they usually end up to what they're going to be, and it is chronological here in this situation. As it appears, also the Broly from last year, if I do remember correctly, the countdowns were a lot of the movies. I remember Turles being one, BoJack being one, I'm pretty sure, up to Broly. And again, if we have OG Dragon Ball, Saiyan Saga, Namek, Majin Buu, what's after that? DAIMA. DAIMA is directly after the Majin Buu Saga, essentially, in terms of story. And it's pretty much been predicted that it was going to be DAIMA. We have a whole bunch of the assets we're getting. They're just still images of Super Saiyan 4, probably not even going to be arts of Super Saiyan 4 and Goma. Goma's might actually be his SSR art. Or TUR art. It's looking like DAIMA, though. For sure. That's definitely that's my pick. Based off of everything here. Countdown images. And other stuff. It's not looking like Resurrection. I know people said Namek into ROF. It's definitely not looking like that based off of these countdown images. Cause yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Purunga from the end of Dragon Ball Z, essentially. Not the end of Z, but close to the end of Dragon Ball Z, which is slightly before the end of Z, if that makes sense. And otherwise known as when Goku beats Kid Buu with the Spirit Bomb. That's what that is. I'm like 95% sure that's what this is. So, again, based off of how countdown campaigns have been going on for about the whole time I've played Dokkan, which is 8 years almost. Actually, no. This worldwide essentially makes it 8 years since I've started, but it's looking like that. It's leading up to something. If it starts in Dragon Ball, goes through all of the sagas, well, not all of the sagas, but chronologically through Dragon Ball in the story, ends with this. The next thing is Daima. That's what it is. So, based off of that, we got predictions. Yeah, this right here, Shenron. That's kind of what it reminds me of the most. Shout out Zide, by the way. But this, 100% this right here. Showing all of the Shenrons, the Kais, Supreme Kais, like here, Kibito, both in Daima, funny enough. King Kai, I don't remember if he actually is or not. He might be. We got our dog right here, Kami, in Dende's position. This is definitely looking like a DAIMA celebration for sure. For sure. Ends right here. Busaka essentially goes into this, similar as pretty much all of the countdown images. That's it. That's it. And then we go over to, again, same thing. Similar type of situation here with this one. And usually the last one, the first day or one day until, is the very ultimate hint. It almost basically tells you what it's gonna be. It's usually just the next thing after, or very close to this, or something in complete relation with this. And again, it's the same thing as this situation, and this is the end of the Buu saga. Daima is directly after the Buu saga, so we go with this. Same thing again, Neba. We have Kami and the Supreme Kais, King Kai, Korin even. It just all adds up to Daima. That's my thoughts. So, again, giving power basically, and then I guess this guy is actually when they get turned older. So I don't know if it's gonna be adult or not, but it might not even have anything to do with this in particular, but just everything goes up to Daima. This could definitely be it though, for sure. And then obviously Super Saiyan 4 Goku could be mini. This looks like a fan art because his arms aren't huge. So it could be mini, could be adult. We will see in like a week. Something like this along these lines. Probably along with Goma. That'd make the most sense. We usually get some sort of villain, and we do need a villain for this. Hopefully, as a part 2, we would get LR's Ku and Du tag unit. It could be join forces. I don't think it matters. Also, the Tamagamis are on there as an option. I mean, if we look at their boss cards, go over to the story, and we look at their boss cards here. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. I think they would all share the same categories. Maybe Ku would get Battle of Wits. But other than that, they would pretty much just share all of these. Still Dragon Ball Seekers. They're both artificial life forms, both Majin Power, both demonic power, and both mission execution. Again, if they were joint forces, they would get joint forces and Battle of Wits probably, maybe not. If they're tag, most likely get Battle of Wits. Wouldn't get joint forces, but nobody runs that team, nor is that team getting any new leader skills or 30% boost anyways, so doesn't really matter, but we would want Battle of Wits for sure, I think. I think Dragon Ball Seekers is gonna be a big one after this. I mean, we have General Blue, Tao, DKP, Glorio, Daimaku, Super Saiyan 3, Daima Vegeta. Then if we get Super Saiyan 4, I think Mini Super Saiyan 4 would still have it. Goma would definitely have it. Maybe. No, he should. He should have it. And then Ku and Du, again, they're on Dragon Ball Seekers, so they would have Dragon Ball Seekers anyways. And then if we got an adult Vegeta, I guess adult probably wouldn't be on Dragon Ball Seekers. We have no way of knowing for sure. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the vision. This probably gets a buff as a Goma character. Honestly, if Goma's part 1 and they do Dokkan Fest Carnival, I don't really see them doing Goma as the Dokkan Fest, even though he needs to be the Dokkan Fest. And they would probably give Super Saiyan 4 the Dokkan Fest instead, because Goma would only lead one category, and he would really need to lead 3 good villain categories for him to be useful and not on a team. If he's only leading one category, he's really not going to be on a team. He could lead demonic power. Only have Glorio, Slug maybe, and then you would run Gohans. No, you'd have DKP, so you'd have what, 3 here plus Goma, and that's not ideal. That is definitely not ideal. I'm looking and I don't see any other like great options here. Some easy A's maybe. Wouldn't really, no, you wouldn't want to run those guys at all. Yeah, I don't know. Goma needs a Dokkan Fest. Not just like for villains. And probably not demonic power, which even though that's one of the categories we would need him to. Oh, I guess if we get a Kuindu, they would also be on demonic power. I don't even know. We have a Goma boss card, so I guess I could check that out. What other teams he's on? I think it's this one. Yep, Third Eye Goma specifically. Seekers, Terrifying Conquerors, Final Trump card. I mean, Battle of Fate or Terrifying Conquerors can both be very good because Battle of Fate would have Friezas. We'd have this guy. Like stuff like Cell Max, Zamasu's. I mean, this Vegeta's very good. We would have Cells. Again, Golden Frieza. I mean, not really the villain category you're looking for. Maybe, I guess Terrifying Conquerors would have to be it. Yeah, DKP. Turles! The coolers would need an easy A. These two coolers would need an easy A for this to be useful. Yeah, General Blue. I would assume we have Tao as well. Maybe not. I actually don't know. I don't see Tao. I think he would be next to General Blue. So not. But Slug's still here. First form Friezas. I think any Friezas on this category. No Cells though. That's the thing. No Blues, no Cells. It'd be very interesting either way. Definitely not successor. You would not want this guy as a successor because then again you only have Friezas, you have DKPs, you have Zamasu, and that's it. You don't have any other villains on this team. Not even sure. Nah, he doesn't really have any. I am curious if they did add. Okay, no, they didn't add that yet. Either way, along the lines of this, them, Goma, and then Super Saiyan 4, again, comes through Neva, Porunga, all from these. It just adds up. Dragon Ball again, Dragon Ball, Saiyan Saga, Namek, Majin Buu Saga, and a Majin Buu Saga. It just makes sense. This is like the start. This is like close to the end / the middle, and then this is the end of Majin Buu. It makes sense.